Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveENODING. In this episode, I will be discussing spatial nodes category in Spatial. So basically, there's a new category called spatials, and with the spatials, we have a bunch of nodes to talk about. I'll try to talk about the first four. Yeah, each of them will be dealing with the way you can quickly position either like random points or points that's kind of in spacing, like based in relation to the other point. So we have used I use the vector p field quite often, for example, and this is a very simple node. You simply plug in like a viewer node. I just hold control and then click here, and we get this temporal viewer. So this gives you a bunch of points, yeah, and you can have points that's arranged like that, and then you just reposition it in X or Y or Z. This is very cool, very useful to make like a voxel kind of design. You can randomize it quickly. You can merge if it gets too close. You can randomize the seed. So it's very simple nodes and very useful. And if you are using it with something like matrix apply, of course, use the second one. You can plug this into the matrix, and then for the instance we can use box. And so if we use like mesh viewer, we're gonna get result very quickly. So let's save this as spatial A. So you can randomize, you can remove randomizations, remove merge distance, and just arrange this. This is probably something you can use to create like the matrix kind of setup. Okay, so that's vector p field. How about the others? Let's save this. So I'll probably not gonna save everything. Spatial random points on mesh. This is also really simple to use. You just provide it with something. Cylinder, let's try cylinder. Plug this there. And the output's gonna be a bunch of points. So let's control click. And okay, the face index connected to polygon, this is wrong, so just unplug that. Let's increase the number here so you can see our cylinder start to get populated by points. Very useful. Okay, this is just a point scatter. We can, for example, remove the cap. Now it's only on the surface of the cylinder. It's really quite a handy, very handy nodes, random points. Very easy to understand too. And then spatial populate surface. Populate surface is actually, this one needs a surface. So for example, for surface we have plane, sphere. We can start with a sphere. There's this field option to randomize it, I think, but you can see this one is trying to populate the surface and keeping the distance, keeping the certain distance. So I found that, I mean, if I increase the count, at some point it's going to stop. If I increase the radius of this sphere, the points, we have more points. But they seems to be like spatial, spatially like arranged. So now the calculation of this node is actually kind of slow. See, I'm kind of stuck there. So I might need to start another Blender. maybe we need to set some kind of limit. I mean, the count shouldn't be too big like that. 700, and it's gonna calculate and then processing for a long time. So let's just kill this one. We need okay. Let's try one more spatial nodes. Field random probe. Okay, this one is also quite interesting. This needs some kind of field and bounds. For the bounds, let's try just a simple plane. I believe this can be 3D or 2D. Let's try with a 2D field. We have scalar field formula, but I'll just use this. I know this is a scalar because it's a red color. Now, for the scalar field, it's also expecting vertices. So it's good. It's a nice thing we have this this node. So let's try just plugging this in, and then we need something in the values. We know you have 4 vertices here, so let's just use random number. Plug this into the value. Arrays must equal in length. Okay. Finally, we have something, right? So what is this exactly? Let's see. If I reduce the number, so we have this plane as the boundary. Okay, let's see. Maybe the boundaries need to be separate from this guy. Slightly tricky to understand this one. So we're basically providing points. We have the boundary here. So the points can be, let's try like a vector P field. If I'm not wrong, I have an example here. Okay, this is easier to understand, I guess. So field random probe, we have a bunch of points at the corner, and we have 4 different values here to control the range. Yeah, I think this is a better example. So I can make this value higher, and it's gonna start to grow. So this is a field random probe. Let's try minimum maximum distance. And again, we need to be careful with this number, seems to be very sensitive. Yeah, there you go. This is what it's doing. It can be proportional as well. I haven't tried this with the 3D. I think it works for 2D. Let's say if I make it like 9 different points, it's gonna calculate. there. This kind of spatial node is really useful for layout artists, perhaps. It's where if you want to place points on mesh really carefully. There's this field minimum and maximum as well. So I haven't used it much. So there's a threshold. Oh well. Maybe we can increase these. Or you can see each of the points have some kind of radius that we can control here. And proportional also. But you're gonna need to play around with this. So that's all pretty much the example. I have something else here, which is using this surface formula, which is plugged into Populate Surface, and you can guess this is a bunch of objects that's being generated. This formula is apparently to create a donut, I believe. So we can we have these objects which has been baked and remeshed. So this should have some kind of history. Let's delete this. There you go. That's mostly what's going on. And we can remesh. Smooth shading. So I think this is a pretty interesting. You can just sphere, and you can have like some kind of berry. So lots of potentials. So that should cover all these spatial nodes, the first 4. The rest of them we might cover in another video. Lloyd, this actually new. I don't know what Lloyd is, but maybe we can give it a try at some point. Maybe the next video should be talking about this one. Delonai, you heard that. Voronoi also. This is very cool and very interesting nodes to play around with. So that should cover the first category of spatial nodes. Hopefully you find this useful and interesting. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.